Hello and welcome to our today's webinar. Today we'll be talking about Easy Project Scheduler. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Anna Ogunusi and I'm your host for today's webinar. So let's get into Easy Project. For the purpose of today's webinar, I have set up a trial in the full demo version. So because we will need all the demo data. So but if you have a light version of our demo, I suggest you go for the full one so you can try the Easy Scheduler yourself. So once you sign up for the free trial with the full demo data, this is the home screen that you will come to your home dashboard. And as you can see, Easy Scheduler is actually one of the first modules here. On top, you will have the intro module, Welcome to Easy Project, and just below that is Easy Scheduler. So today, we will show you how to work with Easy Scheduler, how to make your life easier, how to manage your tasks, how to manage your meetings, and how to manage all that of your colleagues as well. So first of all, let me show you how to actually add Easy Scheduler on your home dashboard. So for that purpose, I will delete Easy Scheduler from my dashboard at the moment. And this is to show you also how you can work with your dashboard. So if you delete it over here, then let's go and edit again. If you want at any point to actually customize your dashboards, whether it's your home dashboard or any other dashboard, always scroll down to the bottom of the page, and there you will see customize this page. When we click on that, it will take us to the settings of the particular page where we can actually add the module. So over here, we will select module from the list and we'll look for the Easy Scheduler, which is just at the top, so it's easy to find. You can see it's just right here. We don't even have to scroll down. Once we select that one, it'll come up with the settings for us to have default settings for our scheduler. As you can see, you can choose from two types, personal and manager. Personal is good for team members who do not manage any colleagues or teams. If you are a project manager or any other kind of a manager and you manage other teams and you need to see what tasks or meetings they have, I suggest you choose this option. So for the purpose of today's webinar, we will actually work with the manager type, simply just to be able to show you all that Easy Scheduler has to offer. Display range, you can either choose from the working calendar or you can set it up manually. You can choose whether you want to show weekends or not. It really pretty much depends whether you work weekends or not, whether you are in a company that work weekends, or whether you also want to be putting in your personal meetings or other tasks that you will work on during the weekends. But by default, this is unticked. Then we can also create a new filter, but I will get to filters a bit further down the webinar. We can connect it with external calendars, but we'll get to that as well. And this is a default filter, which will be our home filter for the Easy Scheduler. So let's keep it this way. Let's keep it nice and simple. And let's save the page and go back and let's see. So now you can see that we have added Easy Scheduler on top of our home dashboard. So let's take it bit by bit and let's start actually with this toolbar that we have on top here. If we click on the settings icon, it will actually show us all the saved filters that we have, and we'll be also able to filter by users or groups that we have within our Easy project. How to create the filters, that's actually the next icon. So what do these filters do? Like any filters that you can use in Easy project, it will filter certain tasks for you. So for instance, The first filter is the default filter. That will be the filter that when you access your home dashboard or any dashboard where you actually have Easy Scheduler, that's the filter that will work there, that will show as the first. So the default one means that those are actually my tasks. So those will be tasks where I'm the assignee, they're assigned to me. Then you can, in the demo data, these are two other filters, but we can always change them and we can add new ones. But let's just show you how it works and looks. So if we click on another filter, it'll actually bring up other users. And these three users, that as you can see, they are developers, they are part of development team, which means that we will actually be able to see the meetings and tasks of our development team. And then high priority, different settings, those are, again, my actually tasks, which are set as high priority, my tasks and meetings. So why are we actually needing the filters? Well, that brings us to the main purpose of Easy Schedule, which is to manage your tasks and meetings and even sales activities and attendance and holidays and everything in one single screen. If you are familiar with Easy Project, you would probably recall that in past you had one meeting calendar where you were managing actually just meetings and sales activities. Then if you wanted to log your attendance, there was another module for that. When you wanted to log spend time, another module for that. And when you wanted to work with tasks, obviously there were several ways to do that. But you could, for instance, have had just a list of tasks on your home dashboard. So imagine now you combine all these into one single screen. So you can work with your tasks, you can work with your meetings, your sales activities, and your attendance without having to leave your home dashboard, actually even without having to scroll down or up. You will just work within one screen. This is also very helpful when you manage a team, because you don't have to do many clicks and be going to different windows or different dashboards. You can do all this that I just mentioned, which you can do for yourself, you can do as well for your team. So you can manage their meetings, manage their tasks, assign them their tasks. You can also see and manage your sales activities, etc., within one calendar. That's the biggest advantage of Easy Scheduler. So actually, if you are a manager, Easy Scheduler is the one thing you need in order to manage your workload and your team. So since I'm actually mentioned the filters, let's have a look at the filters, which brings us to the second icon over here in the toolbar, which is Save Filter. So when we click on that, we can actually create a new filter. Let's call it Test Filter. Then you can choose who is it visible to. So you can make it only to me, which is by default, or to any user, which means that any other user within your Easy project can use the same filter on their scheduler, or just particular roles within your system. Then again, by default, it's available for all projects, which means that the filter will work no matter what projects the tasks are in, or you can choose this filter to be only for a specific project and its sub-projects. If you click on the for projects, then you can just choose what projects you want here, and then for sub-project, if you choose the particular project, for its sub-projects as well. But we will stick to for all the projects. And then you can choose the color you want to use, just to make it easier to differentiate it from other filters that you may have there. Then users and groups, which means that it will be showing you meetings and tasks of these particular users and groups. So since we already are working with the development team, let's choose another one. So this depends on, of course, the users that you have within your system and the groups that you have set up. So over here, we have a list of all the users and the groups, and let's choose consulting. So it'll give us the consulting group, and we can also add any other members or members who are not even, we can add someone from IT, whoever we need. And so these are the users and groups that it'll show in our options. And then we can choose that it'll be showing the tasks where these people are assignees. So we'll put Connie, the consultant, can be an assignee, Dante. I'll show you in a minute where does this show in the schedule itself once we save it. By default here, it is that the task status is open, and we can also choose how the tasks will be listed, meaning if you want by the date, ascending, descending, or by the estimated time from the highest to the lowest, etc. You can leave this out, or if you have some personal preferences, how you want the tasks to show, you can choose it over here. You probably know this from any filters you do on your dashboards. It works the same way. So when we save this, we will find our new filter over here. So we have just created a test filter. When we click on that filter, it will show the users that we chose. It will show the tasks that are assigned to these users, and it will also show us those tasks and meetings and any other entities that would be in the scheduler over here, such as if the user had any sales activity. So as you can see over here, we have the list of tasks. What's very important is to actually work with estimated time. And why is that? Because if you want to drag and drop the task, no, let's choose this one, out of the task duration. Okay, so this one. All right, we are out of, okay, this should work. So as you can see, this is also a good example. So the schedule works one with estimated time and also with the start date and the due date of the task. Meaning, if we grab a task that is already past its due date, it won't allow us to actually allocate it onto a date that is passed after the due date set on the task. And it'll work the same way for, probably won't have one here, for the start date. So if I wanted to drop here a task that is only starting in September and I wanted to plan it for tomorrow, it won't allow me either. So if you wanted to work with this task in your scheduler, you would actually have to change the start date and the due date, and I will show you how to do that in a second. So let's take this task, and planning a task into part of the day is as easy as this. You just drag and drop. And this is actually something that was often asked for by our clients. Because as you know, in resource management, when you assign a task to someone, it will be showing in the resource management just for the day, or when you view it on Gantt, you will see that they are working on the task based on the start date and the due date on a particular, on a day. But you would not be able to see anywhere or to decide for the worker to actually work on this task in the morning and work on another task in the evening. And this is what scheduler allows you to do. So now you can see that we scheduled the task over here, and we can choose how much time we want to spend on the tasks. So for instance, this task, Portler is down. You can just by, again, dragging it up and down, you adjust the time. So it starts, the minimum is half an hour, and you can drag it for as long as you have estimated time for it. As you can see, we have two different colors in our schedule showing at the moment. Those differentiate between the entities that are showing, which is blue for tasks, this yellowish color for meetings. If we had attendance, it would be showing in purple, sales activities in this color, orange kind of, holiday pink, external events gray. So that way we can easily actually, just on one look, we can differentiate between various entities and see what's what. Same with these tasks. So now I just drag and drop into my scheduler and I can adjust it and prolong it. Now you can see how important it is to actually have estimated time. So these hours over here, that's estimated time. If you have no estimated time set up on your task, you won't be able to drag it into your scheduler. So it's important always to have it there. Another thing is that once you have dropped it into a scheduler, it reduces the estimated time that you have over here. Meaning, we are now looking at the new features, okay? So originally there was 3 hours. Now we already allocated half an hour. If I allocate another half an hour in, you can see the number has reduced over here. If I add another hour into the scheduler, the number of estimated time has reduced. So basically the estimated time you see over here is the estimated time left that needs to be allocated to your team or yourself. And if I change it to 3 hours, it'll disappear from them. Meaning I don't have any more estimated time that I need to place into my schedule. On the other hand, if I prolong it more than the estimated time originally set in the task, it'll actually add it to the details of the task that we are already in minus, meaning we are spending more time on the task than was originally planned. We can also, this way, we can also easily change and assign. So as you can see over here, all these tasks, all of them are assigned to myself. If I want to change, allocate it and change the assignee at the same time, I just click on the person whose schedule now I want to work with. And if I, let's grab this one because it's up to date. So you can see this task is assigned to me and we have the estimated time over here. If I now drag it here, you can see the assignee has changed. And at the same time as before, I have actually reduced the estimated time remaining to be allocated. And now if I want to assign a task to someone else, I always just click on them over here. And again, the same way, drag and drop. So what the filter allows us to do is to work only with the particular users. You will always see yourself over here and the user that you chose within the filter. So we will see whatever task is assigned to them, whatever task they have allocated in the day, or if they have any meeting, we will see it over here with this filter. And you will also see the list of the tasks assigned to those people over here. This way is easier because if there's a group of users that you work with on a regular basis, you don't have to be always going and filtering them in here. You can simply just save a filter and at the same time you can choose some particular attributes of the filter as well. So you don't have to be clicking and creating the filter over and over again. You will always see the filter that is active at the moment that has a green highlight around it. So if you would go back to the div or devel team, you can see that now that's green over here, and then we can go back to our green. You can see also that all the changes that you make, they're automatically saved. So once you are changing the filters, You can be going back and forth and it won't disappear anywhere. So there is no need to be clicking on any save button. Once you do the changes, it will save automatically. I also mentioned earlier that I will show you how to actually change, for instance, the start date, due date, and other attributes. So once we have the task in the schedule, we just click on it and a window will pop up. So over here, we can actually see some basic attributes of a task, such as the status, the assigning. The assigning you can actually easily see thanks to the icon in the schedule as well. Spend time, meaning how much time has been logged on this task, what project is it under, what's the start date, what's the due date, what's the task type, estimated time priority. And you can see that any of these can be easily edited just by clicking on the pen icon over here. So we can change the start date, and we can change the due date as well. We can change the estimated time. The estimated time can be also changed within the schedule without having to click on the task details. You can add a comment. And you can simply save and close. This means that you are editing the task without having to leave your home dashboard, which is a great advantage because you are not losing the sight of your meeting calendar. You can do everything easily without having to go to the project and then to the task or scroll down to the list of the tasks that you have on your dashboard. Just like you can edit these basic attributes, you can also edit the description, or you can see the description over here. You can see the past comments that have been saved through this window. So there's a list of them, and you would be also able to see if there is any attachment over here. And you can show details, edit, delete, allocations, log time. You can even log time on the calendar, which is also very good. So like I said, there's actually no need for you to go to the project and click on the look up the task and be working with the task anywhere else. You can do everything over here. So that's how we work with the tasks. Then I already mentioned that we can see our meetings in here. So when we click on a meeting, you can see, just like if you worked with a meeting calendar in the past, you can see the basics that you have set up for your meeting. You can also edit the meeting or delete the meeting over here. And then we have other entities. Let's actually also have a look at how to create these within your scheduler. So if you don't have a task and you need to create a new task, or if there is no meeting and you need to create a new meeting, how do you do that? Well, you simply click into your scheduler and this pop-up window will show. Again, no need to leave your home dashboard. Everything is just there. It's all working in the pop-up windows. So you can create a new meeting. Just give it a name. If you worked with the meeting calendar before, it actually works exactly the same way. So the time will be preset or pre-filled by default based on where you clicked, but you can always adjust it. You can prolong it, move it around, change the date, etc. Then, of course, the privacy, just like it works in the meeting calendar, whether it's public, private, or confidential. Confidential means that the people only see that you are booked out, you already have something there, but they won't see any details. If you have meeting rooms set up within your Easy project, you can choose from those. You can choose whether it's connected with the project. You can add a description, all the basic things for meetings. You can also use the video meetings. So I strongly suggest, if you have remote workers or you have clients all over the world that you use video meetings with quite often, then this is a really good feature. I'm sure you have probably heard about the Zoom integration that we offer within Easy Project. So I strongly suggest you try this. You can talk to your account manager in Easy Project and you can test it. And it simply means that you don't again have to leave your Easy Project, create other links and be sending it to your team members, etc. You can just use this one. If you click on the take meet in my personal meeting room, it'll be showing, it'll use the link you have for your personal meeting room, which is the same link you can always have. If you would not take it, it'll create a special unique URL for this particular meeting. Again, this meeting will decrease actually your allocation in the resource management. If you click over here, it won't decrease your allocation. Then you just invite users and groups and you save it. So that would be meetings. Another thing we can do over here is tasks. So just like we work with the tasks here, how we were managing them with drag and drop, we can also create new tasks. You can see it looks the same way as if you use this new button over here, but again, it's a pop-up window, so no need to reload the page and no need to leave your home dashboard. Simply create a new task, save it, and you are back in your scheduler. All these pieces and bits, the attributes are the same as if you worked with the new button. Then we also have an attendance. So you can log when you came to work, how you are working, when you arrived, when you left, whether you were working all day, morning, afternoon, etc. Add some description. You can create a sales activity, which is amazing if you have a sales team that you manage. So all you have to do is look up the CRM case by its ID or name, and the same works for the contact. So it depends how you manage your contacts, your CRM cases, which entities you work with more, or which one you need for the particular sales activity. Then you choose the date and time for the sales activity. If it's planned, you won't tick is finished. Once you have finished it, you will click on the finished. So, and then you choose the category. Depends on the categories that you have set up within your Easy project, such as call, email, meeting. It can be anything else. You can even video meeting, personal meeting, whatever you need for your business. What user, so you can actually even plan for someone else, especially for your team members. The contact, the person who is the contact, description, and save it. If you click on meeting and you would only click on save, it won't create a meeting within your scheduler. It'll only create it as a sales activity. If you would use the button save with a meeting, it'll actually create it as a meeting, meaning that it'll show in yellow in your scheduler, as well as it'll be, of course, saved on the contact or the CRM case as a sales activity. And then allocation is simply what you are doing with the drag and drop, meaning you choose a task over here and you put it on a day that you choose and time. So since I mentioned the video meetings, in the meetings, you can see that there is a button for the Zoom integration over here as well, when you click on, you can access your meeting, your personal meeting room over here as well. You can buy the minutes for the Zoom meetings in your Easy project, but if it's the first time and you haven't done that before, simply contact your Easy Project account manager and discuss this with them. There's another button over here that I haven't mentioned yet, and that's for the view. So you can choose whether you want to view it as a week or a day. So you would see only your agenda for the particular day. The week is the default one. Then a month. Of course, the more days you want to see next to each other, then the less data you will be able, or less details you'll be able to see, but it still works with the, you can still do all the task management, meetings management there. A year, that makes it very busy, and it also changes the how we can do it over here. So this works more on allocation of hours, whether it's overallocated, optimum allocation, or under allocation. That's very similar to when you work with resource management. And then agenda is all the entities that you have scheduled in your Easy Scheduler. You might be curious whether actually whatever you plan over here, how it affects your resource management. So basically, any task you put over here based on the estimated time, it'll also reflect it in the resource management. So if we have 7.5 hours over here in our scheduler, we'll see the same thing in the resource management, where it'll show that the person has 7.5 hours allocated to them on that day. So this will affect the allocation with the resource management. So just like you see it here, you'll be able to evaluate in your resource management based on the task you have assigned to them on the day, whether they have some free capacities, whether it's optimum allocation, or whether they have way too many hours on them for the particular day or a week. You can also switch between weeks, so you can be planning into the future as far as you want, just like with the meeting calendar that you probably use at the moment. And as you can see, you can go as far as you want, and then without having the need to be clicking all the way back, you just click on today and it takes you back to the week we are in. At the bottom over here, there's iCal URL for events export. So this means when you want to connect it with another calendar, iCal calendar, you can use this URL or the QR code. Here you choose what entities you want to include. By default, there are meetings and attendance. We can also add allocations. And if you actually look at the QR code, you will see how it's changing. And you can also include sales activities, or you can just stick to the meetings and attendance. Then you can simply use this link or the QR code and export it. Easy Scheduler is also very easy to use on mobile devices. So you can manage your work and your team on the go. Let's show you how that looks on your mobile device. So we'll switch to mobile view. And I have it here for iPhone X. Let me put it in 100%. So this is what it would look like if you were viewing your Easy project on your iPhone X. So this is when you're holding your phone vertically, and we can also switch it to show you how it would show in horizontal view. And again, with your touch screen, you can simply use drag and drop, create meetings, attendance, sales activities, or new tasks. Let's go back. So today we spoke about Easy Scheduler. If you have any questions right now, please feel free to use the questions and answers tool that is in the toolbar of this webinar. In this webinar, we covered how to add Easy Scheduler on your home dashboard through Customize this page. We covered what settings to do, whether you use it as a personal calendar or a manager type calendar to manage your team as well as your own duties and responsibilities, how to use the filters on Easy Scheduler and how to create new filters, how to switch between users, and how to work with drag and drop and the entities such as tasks, meetings, attendance, sales activities within your schedule. We have a question, so let's week numbers. Okay, so we have a question from Yohani Pushka, and the question just says week numbers. I'm not quite sure what do you mean by week numbers. If you could specify that, I'll be more than happy to answer your question. So if you would have any questions later, the question is, I wanted to know if Scheduler is able to sync with Outlook, and if it does, how the activities get uploaded in both places in real time. How to display week numbers with dates. So that's actually a good question about the week numbers. Now I understand what you mean, that for instance here it will be showing week 33. So we don't have that in Scheduler included at the moment, but I will note that down for our future development. About any type of integration with the calendars, with other calendars, you can use the iCal URL for the events and for syncing it. If you have a particular use case that you need to solve for your needs, I suggest if you need help with actually settings of the scheduler or some other further information regarding settings, the best thing is to contact our support through the chat window. You can also, of course, send an email or give us a ring, but the fastest actually is over here in the bottom of your application, whether you are in your application or on our website. Just click over here and type in and get in touch with our support team, and they will help you with all the settings. So if you have any questions later, feel free to get in touch with our support team, send us an email, give us a ring. This webinar, the recording will be available on our website. So when you go to our website under services, there's a training center. And over here, if you click on webinars, you will see the recordings of all our past webinars, meaning that soon there will be a recording of this webinar as well. As well, you will be able to see other webinars that are coming up. We'll be putting up a link for the registration for the webinar, for the next webinar, which will be in 2 weeks' time. And I believe that that webinar will be for business intelligence, which is another new feature within Easy Project. So thank you so much for your attention. I hope to see you soon on our future webinars, and I wish you good luck with your projects.